You didn't stop posting your photos because you're insecure. Not really. You stopped because you noticed something most people never see. Something subtle but heavy. Something about being seen. Because being seen costs something. Not money, not effort. Something more psychological. The moment your face goes online, it stops being just yours. It becomes a story people interpret, judge, and decide upon without asking. And even when they don't say anything, you feel it. And that feeling, it lingers, so you pulled back. Not suddenly, not in a dramatic, noticeable way, just a little less. One photo you didn't upload, one private moment you didn't share. And when nothing bad happened, when the world kept turning and no one seemed to care, your body relaxed. It felt quieter, like stepping out of a room that was louder than you realized, like leaving behind the hum of constant observation. That's when your mind made the connection. You're not avoiding attention, you're avoiding the weight that comes with it. Social media doesn't just show people, it shapes them. It teaches you, slowly, which versions of yourself are acceptable and which ones are ignored. Over time, you start editing yourself before you even post. Before you even take a photo, you're calculating, adjusting, correcting. And that kind of constant self-monitoring, it's exhausting. So you chose privacy. Not because you don't like how you look, but because you don't like being reduced. Because a photo can't explain context. It can't show what kind of day you were having, or what thoughts you were holding back, or why you felt distant even while smiling. But people, they read into it anyway. And correcting them, that feels pointless. So you stopped offering material for interpretation. People who don't post their photos often understand something quietly. Not everything needs to be witnessed to be real. Some moments are richer when they stay unobserved. Some thoughts, some laughs, some silences, they belong only to you. There's a tiredness underneath this choice too. The tiredness of being perceived all the time, of adjusting your posture, your tone, your expression, constantly. When you don't post, you don't have to manage reactions. You don't have to check who liked, who commented, who ignored. You just exist. And in a world that demands performance, that feels rare. But staying private isn't neutral. It comes with consequences. When you're not visible, people fill in the blanks. They assume you're shy, distant, lacking confidence. Social spaces quietly punish absence. They reward presence, even shallow presence. You notice it in small ways, conversations that drift, invitations that don't come, opportunities that seem to favor people who are louder, easier to read, easier to consume. It's not that you lost value, it's that you lost visibility. And visibility, in today's world, is currency. This creates a tension inside you. Because you're not naive, you know how the world works. You know attention opens doors. You know being seen matters. And yet, something in you resists. Not loudly, not rebelliously, just quietly. You resist because posting would require performance, to package yourself, to offer a version of yourself that feels incomplete. And you don't want your inner life turned into content. People who don't post their photos usually have strong internal boundaries. Their sense of self doesn't depend on constant feedback. They don't need to be mirrored all the time to feel real. But that kind of strength is often misunderstood. Sometimes even you start doubting it. You wonder if staying unseen has made you smaller, if choosing privacy has slowly become hiding. Because humans, we still need reflection. Complete invisibility isn't freedom either. It can become isolation if it goes on too long. And that's the balance you're trying to find. You don't want to perform your life, but you don't want to disappear from it either. And here's the realization that shows up late at night when everything finally slows down. You didn't stop posting because you don't value yourself. You stopped because you didn't want your identity negotiated in public. Some people feel solid when they're reflected back through attention. Others feel solid when they're internally consistent. You fall into the second group. And that path, it's quieter, less visible, often misunderstood. Social media rewards clarity, easy stories, clean images. But you're layered. You change depending on context. You carry contradictions. A single image, it never feels honest enough. So you chose to stay whole instead of visible. Still, the question isn't whether you should post or not. It's whether staying hidden is still serving you, or if it's become another way of disappearing. This isn't about forcing yourself online, and it's not about rejecting it completely. It's about choice. You're allowed to decide when you're seen, by whom, and for what. You're allowed to have presence without performance, visibility without self-betrayal. Tonight, you don't need to upload anything. You don't need to explain your silence. Just remember this. Staying private was once your way of staying safe. And when you decide to be seen, if you ever do, it should be because you chose it, not because silence was mistaken for weakness. Because the goal was never attention, it was integrity. And you never lost that.